Jason was 42 years old when his life changed forever with a decision his friends called insane. Today, he doesn't need to wake up at 5 a.m. to face Atlanta's hellish traffic anymore. He doesn't need to worry about bills or whether he'll be able to pay for his kids' college. Jason turned $1,000 into over $2 million in 5 years, and if you think this story is about genius or luck, you're completely wrong. Jason was an ordinary guy with ordinary problems. The difference is he did something 99% of people don't do when opportunity knocks on their door. He said yes when everyone else said no. And in the next few minutes, you'll discover exactly how he did it and why this might be the most important story you'll hear this year. December 2018. Jason was sitting at his kitchen table in his apartment in Marietta, Georgia, calculating whether he could pay all the bills that month. An HVAC technician for 15 years, earning his $45,000 annually, which seemed to evaporate between mortgage, health insurance, and family expenses. His wife Sarah worked part-time as a receptionist, and together they managed to keep the household running, but always on the edge. The kids were starting to ask those questions every middle-class dad knows. "Dad, why can't we travel like Tommy's family?" Jason felt a tightness in his chest that went far beyond money. It was the feeling of being trapped on a Ferris wheel that never stopped spinning. That night, browsing YouTube, Jason came across a title, "How Bitcoin Can Change Your Financial Life." He laughed. Another scheme, he thought. But something made him click. The video talked about a digital currency that had appreciated thousands of %. It talked about ordinary people who had become millionaires. Jason spent the entire night reading about blockchain, wallets, mining. When Sarah woke up, she found her husband still glued to the screen. "Honey," he said, "I think I found our way out." But knowing something is revolutionary and having $1,000 to invest when you can barely pay the bills are different realities. Jason had exactly $100 to $200 in savings, the emergency money. Sarah was clear. "Jason, have you gone crazy? That money is for emergencies. You want to bet our security on a currency that doesn't even physically exist." Friends were even harsher. "Jason, that's crazy stuff," said Mike, his best friend. "You're 42, man. It's not the age for adventures." But one night in January 2019, Jason did something that would change his life forever. He took $1,000 and bought his first Bitcoin. Not a whole Bitcoin. It cost about $3,500 at the time. He bought 0.28 Bitcoin, a little piece of digital revolution. The first week was emotional hell. Jason checked the price every 5 minutes. March 2019, Bitcoin plummeted to $3,200. Jason saw his $1,000 turn into $800. Sitting in the work bathroom, he almost sold everything. But he remembered a phrase: "The market doesn't reward those who are right quickly. It rewards those who are right and can wait." He didn't sell. Jason began developing investor discipline. He stopped checking the price every day. He started investing a little every month, $50, $100. Extra money, overtime money. July 2019, he finally told Sarah. The fight was epic, but in the end, she asked, "How much did you lose?" 2020 came like a tsunami, pandemic, lockdown. Jason saw Bitcoin plummet to $3,800, but this time he felt opportunity, not fear. He took the $200 stimulus check and bought more Bitcoin. While everyone was panic selling, Jason was buying. From May onwards, Bitcoin began a historic rise. Tesla and MicroStrategy started buying. What was crazy stuff became mainstream. December 2020. Jason looked at the app. $28,000. He had invested about $8,000 over 2 years. For the first time in his life, he felt rich. Rich with possibilities. Rich with future. Sarah, who went from skeptical to curious, was impressed. "Was it luck, or do you understand this?" she asked. "A bit of both," he replied. But luck only works when you're prepared. 2021 was the year of explosion. Bitcoin rose to $65,000. Jason saw his wealth grow to over $180,000, but the personal transformation was bigger than the numbers. Jason developed confidence that extended to all areas. At work, he started applying for promotions. At home, conversations about money changed from bills to future plans. November 2021, at the peak, his investments were worth $220,000. The temptation to sell was gigantic. "Jason, sell now. Buy a house," friends said. He decided to sell only 20%, $44,000. To put a down payment on a house, fulfilling a 15-year dream. 2022 tested every crypto investor's soul. Bitcoin plummeted to $15,000. Jason saw his remaining $176,000 turn into $60,000. Friends who entered in 2021 lost everything. Influencers disappeared. But Jason didn't sell. He had learned that investing in Bitcoin isn't about perfect timing, it's about time in the market. 2023 and 2024 were consolidation years. Stable growth, no roller coasters. In December 2024, 6 years after that first night on YouTube, Jason had over $2 million in crypto. $2 million. Jason's lesson isn't specifically about Bitcoin. It's about having the courage to act when opportunity appears, even when everyone says you're crazy. It's about discipline, patience, and long-term vision. It's about transforming $1,000 not just into millions, but into a completely different life. If this story inspired you, if you want to discover more about how ordinary people are changing their lives with cryptocurrencies, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, because the next financial transformation story could be yours.